Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, is a fast, confident action RPG with a strong sense of adventure. Combat stays snappy and rewarding, while exploration constantly pushes curiosity forward. The island setting grows richer through smart pacing, memorable music, and a story that gains strength as it goes. Characters earn attention, side content stays meaningful, and progression never drags. A confident action RPG that respects time and keeps momentum high. Boss fights demand smart movement, skill timing matters, and the sense of scale grows without losing focus. A mesmerizing journey through a melancholic world where androids question their purpose and emotions. The combat feels satisfying, with elegant movement and intuitive mechanics. Environments shift between serene ruins and war-torn cities, creating a powerful contrast. The soundtrack is unforgettable, elevating each moment with emotion and grandeur. With multiple endings and narrative depth, it rewards curiosity and reflection. A striking reminder of what games can evoke when story and gameplay move in harmony.
Come, Miss Lilith Blan.
Yes!
In this world.
GrimGrimoire OnceMore is a new take on the traditional strategy game set in the famous Silver Star Tower. The tower carries the promise of unfathomable power and knowledge, but it also hides enigmas, animals, and ancient energies. Lilith Blan must negotiate the tower's dangerous halls and rooms using her wits, daring and strong spells, while fighting nefarious forces plotting against her. As they lead her, they watch the breathtaking display of her spells, unleashing terrible strikes and discovering the mysteries beneath.
Disturbed, but don't worry. No.
R-Type Final 2 revives the legendary shoot-'em-up legacy with intense battles, sleek ship designs, and a variety of challenging stages that demand focus and precision. The customization system is deep, allowing experimentation with countless ships and weapon setups that keep the action engaging. The game's visual style and sound design elevate every mission, while difficulty options make it approachable yet rewarding for long-term play. As a modern take on a classic formula, it proves both faithful and refreshing in equal measure. The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails crafts an engaging action RPG with fast-paced combat, clever platforming, and a story that keeps momentum without dragging. The visuals are crisp, with colorful environments that pop, and the soundtrack adds energy to every moment. Characters are well-written, making each interaction meaningful. A solid adventure packed with heart, smart mechanics, and pacing that rarely slows down. It's the kind of journey that rewards curiosity and keeps players moving forward with purpose. A timeless tale of stars and swords is reborn with vibrant new life. Claude, a young Earth officer, finds himself stranded on an underdeveloped planet, prompting an epic interstellar adventure. Exploration and real-time combat flow together seamlessly, offering both expansive freedom and satisfying tactical engagement. Multifaceted character crafting, extensive narrative branches, and plentiful optional endeavors provide remarkable longevity. The exquisite blend of classic sprites with detailed environments creates a uniquely nostalgic yet fresh visual charm.
Wow. Two worlds, one fateful.
Collection of Mana is a nostalgic trip worth taking. With 3 classic titles in one package, each game brings its own flavor of old-school RPG magic. The pixel art is vibrant, the music is timeless, and the combat remains engaging. Seiken Densetsu 3, officially released in English as Trials of Mana, is a long-awaited treat. Whether it's the adventure, the world-building, or the retro charm, there's something deeply satisfying in revisiting these legendary quests. A treasure for anyone who appreciates classic action RPGs. Am Setsuna is a classic JRPG game that follows Setsuna, a young lady on a mission to save her village. The game addresses themes of sacrifice, responsibility, and camaraderie, and each character has their unique background. The battle system is reminiscent of Chrono Trigger, featuring strategic turn-based combat and a unique timing-based logic. The graphics are amazing, and the game's landscapes are diverse and rich, transporting players to beautiful locations. The music complements the story's emotional tone and adds to the ambience of each scene. CRYMACHINA is an electrifying action RPG that keeps players fully engaged. Combat is intense, with combos that feel powerful and rewarding. The world is detailed and full of hidden secrets, encouraging exploration at every turn. Boss battles demand strategy and timing, making victories feel earned. The soundtrack heightens the excitement, perfectly syncing with each fight. Hours fly by as players uncover lore, tackle challenges, and dive into fast-paced gameplay. A thrilling journey that action fans will not want to miss. Kamiwaza Way of the Thief combines stealth action with a unique art style and engaging gameplay. The story follows a clever thief navigating intricate levels filled with traps and enemies, encouraging strategic thinking and patience. The controls feel natural, making sneaking and escaping rewarding. Puzzles and challenges are well designed, creating a nice balance between stealth and action. The soundtrack adds to the mood, enhancing the atmosphere without overwhelming. It's a solid choice for players looking for a thoughtful, entertaining adventure. An abandoned maintenance robot discovers a girl called Toriko on the verge of death in a planet tainted by deadly fungus. She is the last person left and is extremely vulnerable to the fatal circumstances of the outer world. To assure her survival, the robot and decommissioned AI Factoria I construct a terrarium for her. To help Toriko's health and the terrarium, the robot must journey into the wasteland to acquire supplies while facing vagrant machines and aberrant monsters. As they fight through dynamically generated stages in turn-based combat, players must carefully select their loadout. You, a young girl with a desire of becoming a renowned hero, goes on an epic journey with the enigmatic Cruel King. They fight powerful opponents such as dragons and sorcerers, who each display their own strengths and limitations. Along the way, they discover horrific truths about the Dragon King's background, compelling them to confront their own past. These hardships teach them the true meaning of friendship, bravery, and the value of addressing one's history. The novel transports readers to a world of enchantment and wonder. Aero The Acro-Bat 2 is a vibrant platformer that thrives on creative stage design and inventive mechanics. The variety of acrobatic moves keeps the action engaging, while the colorful visuals and catchy soundtrack make each level a joy to revisit. The challenge is fair yet rewarding, encouraging mastery without becoming frustrating. With its energetic pace and imaginative obstacles, the game remains a standout side-scroller that balances fun gameplay with a strong sense of style, making it enjoyable to return to again and again. Zengeon is an anime-infused action RPG and roguelite game with 6 distinct characters and multiple playstyles. The Celestial Academy, which has been protecting a seal in the Blessed Land for generations, is essential to the game. However, during the lunar eclipse, the Dark Emptiness is released, compelling players to select one of 6 playable characters, each with their own set of talents and powers. The game has infinite replayability, allowing players to change their strategy and construct characters dynamically. Cooperative gamers can form groups of up to 3 buddies. Retro Machina is a thrilling mix of strategy and action with a visually striking world that feels alive. The puzzles challenge the mind without ever feeling frustrating, and the combat keeps players engaged with smart, rewarding mechanics. Its story draws curiosity, keeping interest high as the journey unfolds. The soundtrack complements the atmosphere perfectly, making each moment feel meaningful. This game keeps players hooked, encouraging exploration and clever problem-solving throughout its unique robotic universe.
It is time to take your first step.
In Alchemist Adventure, you play as a young alchemist attempting to explore the mysteries of the enigmatic Isor area. The difficulty grows as you advance, but the amount of save points diminishes. With no formal alchemical formulae, the game fosters exploration, thinking, and the discovery of new things. Exploring diverse places manufacturing potions from the 4 elements, employing alchemy to modify the environment, solving alchemical riddles, and combating elemental creatures are all key aspects. You can also switch between characters or play co-op as flying species. Metal Mind presents an engaging fusion of strategic combat and immersive storytelling that keeps players hooked. The game's world is rich with detail, inviting exploration and thoughtful decision-making. Enemy encounters require clever tactics and timing, making each battle rewarding. The soundtrack complements the intense atmosphere perfectly, while the progression system encourages experimentation. Fans of action and strategy will find plenty to enjoy here, with a compelling challenge that keeps the momentum alive throughout the journey. Wings of Bluestar is an immersive shoot-'em-up game that mixes traditional arcade mechanics with current HD visuals. Players will follow the adventures of novice pilot Aya and experienced ace Zarak as they explore a renewed danger presented by an unknown artificial intelligence. Throughout the game, players will not only engage in violent bullet hell action, but they will also be immersed in a detailed narrative with conversation options and numerous character endings, with features like various ships, weapon upgrades, and monster rush mode. KAMIKO is a compact yet rewarding action game that thrives on simplicity. The pixel art is colorful and sharp, paired with a soundtrack that keeps the pace moving. Combat feels quick and responsive, giving each of the 3 playable characters a distinct style that encourages replaying. Levels are short but cleverly designed, with puzzles and enemies placed in a way that stays engaging. It never overstays its welcome, making it perfect for short sessions. For those who enjoy arcade-style action with a focus, this is a game worth keeping on rotation. Creeper has turned METAGAL's sisters into battle cyborgs, using their abilities to conquer the planet. Meta must confront her sisters, free them, and utilize their skills in order to defend her family and preserve the planet. The game has a traditional jump and shoot style, gorgeous 16-bit graphics, 8 separate levels, 30 different opponent kinds, strong weaponry, secret collection objects, a forgiving death penalty system, and the ability to unlock more playable characters with unique skills and upgrades. Asdivine Hearts II is a charming, nostalgia-packed JRPG that fans of classic turn-based battles will adore. The vibrant pixel art, quirky dialogue, and surprisingly emotional story create a satisfying blend of retro and fresh. The expanded world and improved battle mechanics over the first game make for a more engaging experience. There's a comforting simplicity to the game, yet it still offers enough depth to keep you hooked for hours. If you're in the mood for an old-school adventure with heart, this is a delightful gem worth discovering. Violet Wisteria leans into retro action with a distinct 3-button color mechanic that keeps each battle thoughtfully paced and strategic. The visual style pays homage to classic 16-bit aesthetics while maintaining a sharp, vibrant identity. Music sets an energetic tone that fits the game's pacing. Level design encourages observation and memory, making progression feel earned. A clear love for the genre is felt in every stage. For those craving a focused, methodical platformer, this game makes a strong impression. Tiny Thor is a lively pixel art platformer that captures the spirit of old-school action with a modern edge. Its clever hammer mechanics make every throw feel rewarding, ricocheting off walls to solve puzzles and strike enemies with precision. Each stage is crafted with care, encouraging sharp reflexes and creative play. The retro visuals and energetic soundtrack create a fun rhythm that keeps the momentum going. With engaging boss fights and a satisfying sense of challenge, it's a rewarding adventure that feels built for true platforming fans. Transiruby is a stylish sci-fi platformer built around sharp pixel art and fast movement. The drill-based traversal keeps momentum high and rewards smart routing through each area. Combat stays satisfying thanks to clear enemy patterns and responsive controls. Level design encourages exploration without dragging pacing down, while the soundtrack adds energy to every stage. Boss fights test skill without frustration, making progression rewarding and fun for fans of classic action platformers. Visual style stays consistent and memorable after credits roll. SHINOBI non-GRATA delivers an intense and fast-paced action experience that truly stands out. The combat feels satisfying, with fluid controls and a variety of moves that keep gameplay fresh. The visuals are striking, capturing the dark ninja atmosphere perfectly. Levels are well-designed, offering challenging enemies and clever platforming sections that test skill and timing. The soundtrack complements the mood, enhancing immersion throughout the adventure. This game is a must-try for fans of classic side-scrolling action with a modern edge. Savant Ascent Remix is a stylish action platformer that thrives on rhythm and momentum. The mix of intense combat and electronic soundtrack creates a rush that feels both energetic and rewarding. Each ascent challenges reflexes while encouraging quick adaptation, making every run exciting to push further. The visuals carry a striking futuristic vibe, pairing perfectly with the music-driven flow of battles. It's a game that encourages mastery through repetition, turning short sessions into highly addictive bursts of fun without losing its unique edge.
This game.
Arcade spirit meets disciplined design in Prinny 2 Dawn of Operation Panties Dude, a brisk return to old-school challenge. Set in the chaotic netherworld, a lowly Prinny charges through danger on a mission tied to his demanding overlord. Movement feels sharp and exacting, with each stage testing timing and nerve. Difficulty encourages mastery rather than frustration, rewarding patience with steady progress. Branching routes, unlockable forms, and score chasing add depth, while lively music keeps momentum high. It feels complete and finely crafted.
Just so you won't fall as often, dude.
Process of Elimination is a gripping whodunit that blends classic detective drama with visual novel flair. Each character, from the eccentric sleuths to the chilling villains, brings depth to a story that constantly keeps you guessing. The layered mysteries unravel at a satisfying pace, with choices that feel impactful and puzzles that challenge without frustrating. Visually stylish and backed by a haunting soundtrack, it's an engrossing experience that fans of murder mysteries shouldn't miss. The narrative payoff is well worth the cerebral ride, making every deduction feel genuinely rewarding. Dark Water is a fantasy side-scrolling action game about a granddaughter and her grandmother's journey to defend their community from a plague of slime creatures. The game has amazing visuals and a lovely pastel watercolor style, and players must master their particular talents, such as archery and parachuting, to advance through each round. They collaborate with their grandma to overcome challenging barriers and traps, and they tactically analyze the terrain to employ the appropriate talents. The game features a variety of creatures over exotic settings and fantastic music. Dungeon Limbus is a turn-based roguelike game in which players must conquer a dungeon while growing their hamlet and improving its weaponry. The game includes turn-based gameplay on elaborate tile layouts, character growth through manufacturing and upgrading equipment, and strategic combat against powerful enemies. Players can also find collecting items and different endings. The game revolves on a young lady who runs a secret blacksmith shop and a community of resurrection, where each death produces power. The game tackles the subject of whether resurrection is a blessing or a burden. Aeterna Noctis is an action platforming adventure in which players assume the character of the King of Darkness and travel through 16 numerous locations. The story centers on the King of Darkness, who has been cursed by chaos and must restore his lost abilities. This game includes hand-drawn animation, an emotive soundtrack, and voice-acted sequences in 8 languages. Players must travel the cosmos, fighting foes and discovering their fate in their own unique and customized way. Summum Aeterna is a roguelite game with world-crawling elements and a dynamic battle system. Players take on the role of the King of Darkness, a warlord cursed with perpetual life, and go on an adventure across undiscovered worlds packed with treasures, traps, and enemies. The game has a permanent character and planet improvement system, allowing players to save their progress. Seed genes shape the risks, encounters, and rewards, so no 2 playthroughs are the same. Survival depends on destroying all live or undead foes with precisely prepared weapons.